Coast Texas toast with a picture of Daria for
She's a
Avatar.
good friend in the show.
Yeah, she is. What are some things you do to stay positive today? Thank you for getting me through 2020.
Oh, thank you. I'm amazed how many people have said that to me in person, just randomly on the street and stuff.
That's a nice thing to hear, isn't
It
it?
is,
Wow.
yeah.
Isn't
Like,
it also a
thank
weird
you.
thing to hear? Like,
It
really?
is.
I
It is.
did that?
Yeah, you don't realize how your words are impacting people.
Mm.
This comes back to what we were saying earlier. Things I do to stay positive. Implicitly and explicitly, constantly take stock of what I have to be grateful for. Practice gratitude a lot. Want what you have. Wanting what you have is more important than having what you want. And man, there's so much to be grateful for with all the criticisms and all the negative things and dark stuff in our society and things to be worried about and want to, discuss. We still do live in, we're all so blessed. We have so much to be grateful for, even simply being able-bodied. If you're able-bodied, if you're healthy, your family, your friends, your country, the time you were born in, the place you were born in, having a roof over your head, not wanting for a meal, all this pretty basic stuff. You can't lose sight of it. And then beyond that, live with a purpose. It can take many years, I think, for someone to know what the purpose of their life is and what their calling is. But I think once you find it and you live with that purpose, I'm always happy, right? Even when I'm kind of angry or I'm annoyed, I'm still happy fundamentally. Like, I'm fundamentally a happy person.
That's what my wife says about me.
I'm living my dream. I'm pursuing every single day. I'm on this path. I'm pursuing what I want, and it's impacting people in a positive way, and I'm enjoying the process, even through all the ups and downs. So if you can find that thing that every single day, or those things that every day, you get up, and even if you're tired, you haven't slept well, or whatever's going on, you still fundamentally on a deep base level are happy, then I think that's a real key to life. And I think a lot of people don't find that, but I think they could.
Yeah.
I think they could if they really looked within and thought about it.
You know what the major motivator is when you're talking about being thankful for what you got, where you were born, who your parents are, your physical ability as far as your body. Seeing people who don't have that, but who still have a smile on their face is such a huge motivator.
Yeah.
You think about these things, and though they're heartbreaking, if you think about a person who's in a wheelchair, lost both of his parents, has struggled to find housing, but is just happy, you know what I mean? Then it's you spend a little bit of time with guilt of what you have, but then you say, you know what, if this person is that happy, like, why
This
can't
is why I
be
think
that?
Americans should travel more.
Yes.
Because when you,
100%.
I remember living in South America for a while. They are in Peru, like in Bolivia where I traveled, some of the people I met there, some of the happiest, most content people I've ever met on the planet. And they, compared to us, they have nothing. And that's why I think Americans particularly, they just don't travel. And so they don't know what life is like outside America, and they live in this very specific bubble, and it's hard for them to feel this deep sense of gratitude because they really don't know how fortunate they are.
Yeah. And the truth is that, materialism doesn't, and this has been studied for the people who like the science and the studies, like materialism and money, which is something that, we're really trained to pursue. And I don't personally think there's nothing wrong with pursuing wealth through positive means. Those things are not fundamentally what make people happy at all. And if you've met people of different levels of wealth and material success and different places, this becomes very obvious.
It's the meme almost.
It's really obvious. There are people with hundreds of millions or billions of pounds or dollars, and they're miserable, and their life sucks, and they're not happy. And there's people who are broke or poor, and they're surrounded by love, and they're living with meaning, and they're living with purpose.
They're rich,
and they are, and they're happy. So the correlation there isn't as strong as I think people think it is. Like, as long as you're, I think it's shown like there's like a level, and then beyond that, it's something like in the U.S. it's something like $70,000 a year or $60,000 a year, and any income beyond that has no measurable impact on someone's happiness. Yeah,
actually pretty low.
Because that's
a pretty low number.
Yeah, so once a number where you're not stressing bills
Yeah.
You're not stressing like, oh my gosh, like, do I have enough money to cover this? And like you have enough money to cover.
Here comes
all
the
of
commenters.
basics.
Yeah, well, I have a family of 5 and I make 60 grand. You think I don't stress about anything?
Yeah.
No, that's not what he's saying.
So it's something like that. And then if that person, if they earn 700,000 or 7 million a year, there's like a very short-term boost
Right.
with each thing. It's like if someone buys a Lamborghini for like a week.
Yeah.
They're like, there's a spike in happiness, and then it just quickly comes back down to the base level, and it's just your car.
Yeah, I have very big wants of very little, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I have very big wants of very little.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice house, maybe a cool car that I can fix up, and a whole bunch of guns. I don't ask for a lot, very little, but I have big wants and not necessarily big desires. Desires can be dangerous. Big wants though, goals. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I want to be able to send my parents on a really nice first class trip to Italy and Korea.
Yeah.
Because my mom's Korean, dad's Italian. I want to send them on just first class international travel.
And what's
send
so
them really
interesting
nice.
is that that's something that's outside of you.
Yeah.
That's not you want to send yourself on that trip. Right. And even that says something, that you want that for the people who raised you.
Yeah. And who sacrificed a lot for me.
Yeah, exactly. So
dads.
and
Dads,
Dads,
man.
they're so important.